In Money Watch, we're seeing some encouraging new data on the state of small businesses in the U.S. It suggests that not only are they hiring more employees, but that more and more Americans are starting businesses of their own. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to talk about that. So this is really interesting. People starting businesses.
Yeah.
And they're not just like weed businesses.
No, and over 500,000 in January, up about 36% from a year ago. And so it tells us two different things. It sort of reminds me of the pandemic, where you say, I'm so unsure of what's going on in the labor market that why not strike out on my own? And it doesn't mean they're going to succeed, but I think a lot of people starting to consider turning their side hustles into their main hustles. And I think it also tells you that there are a lot of people who can actually be starting a business with the help of AI, even on the other side where they're sort of fearful of AI hurting their job prospects. So like, hey, if I need to do incorporation, if I need to actually create a deck for something, that AI can really assist in my business formation. And I think that tells us a lot about how people are feeling somewhat unnerved about the labor market and the impact of AI on an actual day-to-day job.
Yeah, I think that piece of it is so interesting, to your point, right? Because there is so much of that anxiety. What's your take on the data here? I mean, you kind of said a little bit about what it says about the economy, but more broadly.
Well, I mean, first of all, there's two different things that I'm thinking about when it comes to small businesses. I was a small business owner. Man, it's hard. It is really hard, and the struggle is real. And when you look at the National Federation of Independent Business, an interesting thing that they do is they say, how are you feeling? What's the optimism out there? And the optimism is actually pretty good before the war. So this is data that was released a couple days ago before the war. People saying, hey, I'm starting to feel a lot better, and things are pretty good. And when you go down a level, you look at, say, the ADP report, which said, hey, small businesses, people with fewer than 20 employees, they actually are firing up the hiring engine. They hired 58,000 people last month. And that was kind of interesting to me. So small businesses, which have often been said to be like the engine of growth of the U.S. economy, I think what it tells you is that more people are willing to make the leap to take on a new person because the business can actually justify that. But, here's your asterisk. If things go crazy in markets, if the oil market continues to skyrocket, if diesel costs continue to go up, and you're the small business person who's running something that is necessary where you say, I need something from the Gulf, whether it's oil or fertilizer, that's going to weigh on you. So we don't know the impact of that yet. Hopefully the war is short-lived for a zillion reasons, not the least of which the economy has been able to steady somewhat this year. If we see a downturn in the economy, that will disproportionately hurt small businesses rather than the big ones.
Really fascinating. Jill, always great to have you, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
This Money Watch segment has been brought to you by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything.